If there's a life hanging in the balance, we're willing to put our lives on the line. So that other person will live.
My dad and I were actually really close. I was definitely a daddy's girl. I felt like we were always having these adventures out in the wild.
They say your life can be turned upside down in a blink of an eye. Life was awesome until something unexpected happened.
All of a sudden, out of absolutely nowhere, I just got this crazy feeling. I didn't know exactly what had happened, but I knew that it was my dad. And I just shook my head and I said, no, no.
An unexpected tragedy comes. A romance breaks up. A terrible injustice is done. And you feel so alienated and so lost. But you can start life all over again with a clean slate. We had a family reunion this summer and all of my grandchildren came home. No, it was one of the most wonderful, wildest times I ever saw. When I'd get tired, I'd say, well, I've got to go back and study a few minutes. And I'd go back and lie down a few minutes and then come out some more. But you know, I love those children. It was great.
I've had this home for many years. And I've had a wonderful family that God has given me. And my wife. And as I think back over the years, I'm in a state of thankfulness.
Now God wants you to live. He wants you to live life to the fullest. And He has a plan for you that will prosper you and bless you. Jesus said, I've come that they might have life and might have it to the fullness. He wants you to have life. He wants you to enjoy life, to give you the assurance that your sin is forgiven, that you're going to heaven when you die.
Facing death, things have become a lot clearer. I was on top of the world. I had everything going for me. I had just been promoted to drive the hook and ladder truck. Felt like I was Superman. But July 24th, 2007, the day that changed my life forever.
Unit 3 flying the pressure fire, reporting stable story commercial fire through the roof.
My job as a driver of the hook and ladder truck is to get on the roof and then open it up with a chainsaw so that the companies coming inside the fire can actually make their way there without all the smoke and heat upon them. We arrived on scene. I put our aerial to the roof, got my chainsaw in hand. When I got on top of the roof, I saw fire at the rear of the building come out of the skylight. And I stepped over like a vision wall.
Breaking news now. We have had a firefighter fall through their roof.
I woke up on the ground. When I looked around, all I could see was orange, fire all around me. I came to the realization that this was it. I was going to die.
In life, there are things that you will never anticipate, things that completely ruin the plan that you have for your life, things that you never, ever imagined. My dad was a very big outdoorsman. We were always camping and fishing and hunting and you name it. If it's outside, we were always out doing it. When I was in college, I really didn't see my dad that often. So we decided to actually go down to Lake Powell. We just spent the entire week houseboating and water skiing and wakeboarding, and we just had such an amazing time. A week after that trip ended, out of absolutely nowhere, I just got this crazy feeling. Basically, I just wanted to go home, and I didn't know why. So we get out of the car. It was my aunt. And just the look in her eyes, and it was just such a deep sorrow. And I just shook my head and I said, no, no. My dad had been murdered. You're just overcome with anger and sadness and grief to a degree that you never knew before. As people were coming down the line at the funeral, telling me all of these things that, your dad is in a better place, I just couldn't believe it. And I couldn't believe in heaven because it just seemed like such a fairy tale to me. It was something that you tell somebody to make them feel better.
Now, we want to soften the reality of death. We don't want to talk about it. Some of us don't want to think about it. So we have a lot of cosmetics and facelifts. And the frantic search for the mythical fountain of youth goes on. But I don't want to turn tonight to the psychologist or the sociologist or the medical students, but to the Bible. What does the Bible say about death? The Bible says in Ecclesiastes 3:2, there's a time to be born and a time to die. It's appointed unto man once to die, but after that, the judgment. Death ushers in so much uncertainty, and we ask ourselves, why? And I want to quote one passage from Amos, the 4th chapter. It says, prepare to meet thy God. And I want to ask you tonight, are you prepared to die?
When my dad died, it really did change death in my eyes because people were telling me that he's in a better place, that I couldn't believe that. But I was really hoping to be able to see my dad again, to just have something, anything. I was just desperate for that. I desperately wanted my dad to come. When I thought about the man who murdered my dad, I honestly hated him. And when I saw his picture in the newspaper with any of the newspaper coverage, I literally shuddered. He was kind of like the villain in my mind. He wasn't even really human. And I never thought that I'd be able to forgive him. It had been about 9 years since my dad's murder. And I think it all just came to a head. And I kind of just fell apart. I became very depressed. And I fell into a pretty deep, dark hole. My greatest fear at that time was that there was going to be something wrong with me and I would die and I would leave my children. I had some family members come up to me and say, Lori, I think it's time to try some medication. And I remember just crying and saying, is it that obvious that I'm really not doing well?
If you can imagine hell on earth, This was it.
Firefighter through the roof and
Then the burn started. Imagine the first layer of your skin burning off. Second layer. Third layer. Down to your tendons. It came to the realization that this was it. I was going to die. And all I could see was my life flashing before my eyes, like a DVD on rewind.
Only Verizon gives you more of the best. 5G from America's most reliable network. More plans you can mix and match and save. More of the entertainment you love. And the phone you want on us. All starting at just $35. Only from Verizon.
When preparing a proper meal, always set your fork at 9 o'clock. Sit up straight. We never slouch. No elbows on the table. Always pass the serving dishes to the right. Proper attire is a must. Always present guests with a timely dinner invitation.
So there was a girl, about 14 years of age, and she was growing up in a legendary city famous for where a king had lived. But her life was ordinary. She lived in an ordinary family, did ordinary things.
Throughout time, both ancient and modern, mankind has been plagued by religious confusion that permeates his daily thoughts and pervasively surrounds him from his culture. It comes in the form of religious dogma, creeds, rituals, ideologies, and political constructs. The apocalypse calls it Mystery Babylon. Thank you very much for the warm welcome. I really feel at home here. I travel the world and I'm in a lot of places, and I can tell you honestly that God, why did you do this? Why'd you make this happen?
Why don't you answer me? I just don't see. Does God ever answer why? Does he hear our cries? Does God ever answer why? I've never seen it with my own eyes. His thoughts about our thoughts, his ways and our ways. God, why, God, why, oh God, why? His thoughts about our thoughts, his ways and our ways. God, why, God, why, God, why? What's wrong with my plan? I wanna go my way. Why don't you let me? I just don't see. Does God ever answer why? Does he hear our cries?
Son,
Does God ever
son, are you okay? It's kind of cold out here. You want to go in?
Sonny, are you okay? You want to throw in the towel? You want to go back in? Sonny, what do you want to do? Here we go in the 8th round, Bobby, and it's just as we predicted. The champ is showing signs of his age, and Chewy Conchola simply isn't better shape.
Don, you're sure right. We said it in the first round when he came out. The champ is just not in his usual fighting shape. Ring rust just doesn't cover it.
Showing signs of his age, and he hasn't fought in 2 years. Now, what's up with that?
Well, he's made an awful lot of money, Don. But tonight, it's almost as if he's just shown up to collect his paycheck. One last fight.
Show up? I'm not even sure he's shown up yet. The only chance the champ had to win this one was to win early. Here we are in the 8th.
Don, I think you can safely say that ship has sailed.
Sonny sure is a ship, all right. The Titanic. And he's headed straight for an iceberg. Namely, Chewy Conchola. The champ looks out on his feet. That was plain pathetic.
Conchola is slowing a bit, too. I don't think he's landed one punch this round.
All the more reason it's looking bad for the champ. Chewy can simply stay away and coast his way to victory.
Chewy's way ahead on points. It really doesn't matter that he hasn't hit the champ this round.
It's a good thing you added that this round, because the first 7 rounds have taken their toll.
You see what I'm saying? Conchola is slowing down even more. He's not even throwing any punches now. He's just dancing.
What would you call that, Bobby? The merengue?
I have no idea at this point.
Or maybe the chicken dance. Whatever it is, he continues to hurl insults at the champ.
Landing words won't knock out Sonny Boone, though. Remember that. Champ might have a chance. He's able to land that big right hand that he's famous for.
Now Conchola's taunting the champ. He's not throwing a punch, and he's daring him to hit it. Now, champ! Now! Don't let up! There it is, Bobby. That's classic Sonny Boone, and that's that right hand that you were just talking about. This party is over. No! No!
That was vicious, all right. But now, Conchola is not moving. Get a doctor in there.
Yes, you're right. I think he may have gone too far.
I have no idea why he kept beating him. Referee Bill Matson was in there trying to stop the fight. Sonny just kept it up.
That was brutal. It looks like we better get up in the ring for a closer look. I don't know, Remo. I just don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? You're the one that told me to keep hitting him.
I didn't tell you to kill the guy.
He's dead.
I didn't say that. It's just... What?
skip your shower, get dressed. We gotta get you out of here. He is dead.
The sound of love, it comes straight from the heart, straight to you. I can't show you how, just do it straight from the heart, straight from the heart. Since I've learned things to find, keeps the liberty.
You have your written statement here, Mr. Boone. Is there anything you would like to add?
No, sir.
Mr. Burgess, anything you would like to add?
I said what I had to say. It's not how I taught him the game. How could you say that?
Gentlemen, we are still in session.
Sorry.
I want you to know we have still not heard from the Conchola family.
Commissioner, what I was
Mr. Boone, I want to spare them from any more grief from this terrible tragedy. As I was saying, based solely on the evidence from my witnesses, including your trainer, Mr. Burgess here, this panel has voted unanimously to permanently revoke your license to box in the state of Florida. And we will make that recommendation for a national organization as well. Do you have any further comment? And we are adjourned.
Why you wanna throw stones at me? Why you wanna throw stones? Why you gotta throw it? Can't you leave me alone? Why must you pick up stones? Drop them and just go. I heard you calling my name with accusations so deep, pelting me with those stones. Yeah, gonna slow what you read. Why must you pick up stones? Drop them and just go.
I'm sorry, sir, your card is fine.
Hey, all right. Don't you wanna have peace instead? Don't you wanna have peace? Close your eyes
Nice in a warm, safe bed. Thank God for some relief. Why must you make a stone?
Son. Son, are you okay? Kind of cold out here. You want to go in?
I ain't bothering anybody.
No, I'm just checking on you. You don't look so good.
I ain't so good, man. I haven't been in a long time.
You hungry? You can go inside.
No.
You look hungry.
What's your angle, mister?
No angle, son.
My name's Sonny, not Son.
I know your name.
You know my name. And you're still talking to me. Sonny boy.
Your given name is Reno. It means warrior.
That's a laugh.
You don't think you're a warrior?
That's what got me here for sure.
You're just here for the time being. Come on. Let's go inside so you won't be here.
No, I know.
You will be soon.
That's rich, man, because everybody gets hungry.
How about a cup of coffee? Surely you can use a cup of coffee. You've got room for a cup of coffee.
Room, yes. Money, no.
Don't worry about that. Let's go inside.
You sure you know who I am? What I've done?
It's a new day, son. Sonny.
And a little bit of chicken fried. Cold beer on Friday night. A pair of jeans that fit just right. And the radio.
Get 5 bonus wings for $1 with any handcrafted burger. Only at Applebee's.
We stand in defiance. We the makers. We the groundbreakers. We defy what logic says we should look like, sound like, be like. Because to create the future, we must defy the logic of the past. We must defy logic.
Today we have the Microsoft Surface Pro 7 and the MacBook Pro. The Surface comes with a pen and a touch screen. I gave them this little bar, but why can't they just give me a whole touch screen? The Surface Pro has a tactile keyboard, and with the Mac, you're kind of just stuck with what you got. But with the Surface, yes, you can run your favorite apps on it. It has the power to run all your apps. It is a much better gaming device. I love my games. Then there's the price. Yeah.
Which looks better, this or this? Seems clear to me. Buy 2 pairs of glasses for just $69.95 at America's Best, and they'll throw in an eye exam for free. It's a savings of at least $50. Book an exam online today.
Some change. I'm tired of who I am. I'm poor in spirit and poor in my heart.
No problem.
Need
Do you
a
know
location. Spare
No
me.
problem.
Come on, spare me. Some change to get me out of this place. Cause I need you more than ever, and I need you more than ever. Yes, I need you more than ever today. Change me, and make me beautiful, make me beautiful.
Run this place for yourself. I'll Paul's out back. He's on break.
You make much money giving away free coffee, do you?
Money's not the only thing of importance.
You must not be the owner.
No. I'm just passing through, like we all are. I'm Malachi.
Malachi. You a fight fan or something? How do you know me?
I know all my customers.
You read about me in the papers, didn't you?
I read the papers, but I don't believe everything I read. You?
I stopped reading the papers a long time ago. Nothing good in them.
What else did you stop doing a long time ago?
Then, you said you knew who I am and what I did. Why are you trying to be nice to me? Why are you even talking to me, man? You trying to get some thrill for your friends? You want to tell your buddy some story about Sonny Boone walking into your place? Is that what you want?
Hey, Paul. Fix Remo here number 3. You like bacon and eggs, right?
Look, man, free coffee's one thing, but you're giving away somebody else's food, and that ain't cool.
Sit down, son. Let me worry about the money.
Cursed.
No.
You don't know where I've been. You don't know where I'm going.
Why don't you tell me then? Tell me how bad you had it.
Had it. Had it. It's getting worse every day.
Tell me. That'll be the pay for your meal.
As long as someone pays. You know me. I was a fighter.
2-time champ.
I was on top of the world. I had everything. If I could have been a multi-millionaire, but God wouldn't let that happen.
God, how did he get into this?
Yeah, God. If there is such a thing. I never let the devil in the ring with me that night.
You're talking about Chewy Controller. You think that young man was sent by the devil?
Devil. God. What's the difference?
Hold on.
You want to hear my story or not?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, maybe it was God then. Why did he let that happen? Everything was going fine. I knew I was losing. I'd been fine to retire on that purse they were going to pay me. Then he had to taunt me. Stick his chin out there like that. So I hit him. Kept hitting. That should have been it. He died.
And you think God did this to you?
I've been to church a few times. I didn't pray to him. What good is it now?
But you said God did something to you. You don't think being dead is worse than what happened to you?
Actors in a better place. You know what they say.
Let me stop you right there. Now you believe there's a better place, but you think God abandoned you. You think God planned all this to harm you.
You know what I think? No. You know what I know? There's no God. We're all just playing around in this universe. Happy circumstances for some, curses for others. I just use God so you get the picture.
The picture? The big picture.
Yeah.
I'm still confused about how you think being dead is better.
Of course it is. Hatcher went out like a hero. His family got rich. I'm the villain. His family got his purse, probably got mine. I know I did.
So it's about the money.
Yes. Yes, it is. Isn't that how we measure ourselves?
You mean, isn't that the way the world tells you to measure yourself? God isn't concerned about your money.
That's the first right thing you've said all night. Look, money's what it takes to make it.
In this world, yes. God is concerned about your eternity, and that is not of this world. Your enemy uses things of this world to distract you.
Hector's chin's sticking out there, distracted.
Excuse me. Sorry about that. Just wanted to say hi to an old friend.
Who's that?
A really good customer. He used to be a firefighter until he got injured saving the little girl. He's moved on.
And that interests me how?
He's just one of my regulars is all.
Charge him for you?
Everybody gets hungry now and again.
I bet you told him all about me. Did that make you feel good?
Everybody's story is important.
Yeah. Well, how many real celebrities do you get in this place?
Is that what you are? Famous.
Yeah, well, who through us now? We just let him talk about it. Kick me around. Like I said. Next video.
Well, I'm important enough to those who know me. Really?
Yeah.
Where you off to?
I don't know. Here, there. Don't worry.
Oh, I never worry. I'm just concerned. I'd like to have you as a regular customer.
Right. Because I made so much money off of it.
I told you money's not everything.
And you don't get out much.
You didn't answer. Where are you staying?
I'm in between places right now. I'll find a place to crash. Don't worry. I know.
Here, take this. Go see Gary. Pastor Gary. He's got an extra room over there in the basement. It's just up the street.
I knew it. I knew you were trying to shove that God stuff down my throat. I'm telling you, there is no God.
I know.
There is no God.
There's no God. I'm not shoving anything. I'm just telling you where there's an empty room.
Fine. I'll take a look at it. The room. The room is all I'm looking at.
Sure. You don't need anything else tonight.
That's right. I don't need anything else.
Oh, say, would you mind going out the back? Come back tomorrow when you get hungry. And you could say thanks for the food.
Thanks. Thank you.
As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the starry crown? Good Lord, show me the way. Oh, sisters, let's go down, come on down. Oh, sisters, let's go down in the river
Hey,
to pray.
for a place to stay?
As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the rolling crown? Good Lord, show me the way. Oh, brothers, let's go down, come on down. Come on, brothers, let's go down in the river to pray. As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the starry crown? Good Lord, show me the way. Oh, fathers, let's go down,
You always on break? Just waiting on you. I still don't have any money. Did you forget that? Nope. I am sorry about not thanking you last night. What? I don't recall. You don't recall? You yelled at me for my bad manners. Did I? I don't recall stuff like that. Saw you hungry. Yeah, well, come on in.
Oh, mothers, let's go down, come on down, don't you wanna go down? Come on, mothers, let's go down in the river to pray.
Only Verizon gives you more of the best. 5G from America's most reliable network. More plans you can mix and match and save. More of the entertainment you love. And the phone you want on us. All starting at just $35. Only from Verizon.
Single worst thing about scooping your cat's litter box.
Scooping your cat's litter box.
That's right. Never scoop again with
Litter Robot. Litter Robot self-cleaning technology sifts through those dirty little clumps, so you never have to scoop. And your feline friend always has a clean bed of litter.
which means your cat won't have to step on poop to go.
Visit litterrobot.com and join the over 400,000 happy cat parents who no longer scoop. Stop scooping and order today at litterrobot.com.
Okay. No, wait. Let's do this, Smudge.
What's this? Oh, remember to have some fun today. Let's go. Say it with me now.
Hinge, squeeze. Stay with me. Here, I'm with you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, finish. You did that, Palatine. Until next time.
Today, when you shop or browse online, your personal information can be exposed. 1 minute it's in your hand, the next it's there, and everywhere, making you vulnerable to cyber criminals. That's why Norton 360 with LifeLock helps protect the info on your devices, your online privacy, and your identity, all in one. Your info may be out there, but safety starts here at norton.com/safety.
I know you said you lost everything, but you still got your manners.
Thanks.
You got a lot to be grateful for, you know.
Yeah, like what?
For starters, grateful to Paul for your cup of coffee.
So thank you.
Do you say that enough?
I don't have anything to be grateful for.
You ought to keep track. Here, this'll help.
That's too many pages. I only need one line. I'd write down this cup of coffee. Okay, 2 lines. Cup of coffee and food. Nice.
Excuse me.
Come on. What's her story? Mrs. Stewart?
The company she worked for 20 years downsized and eliminated her job.
Oh, God.
You think her losing her job is God's fault, too?
Did she get fired because she was doing a lousy job? Probably not. She probably got fired for no good reason. And that's a good thing?
Really? How do we know? She got laid off 5 years ago. A lot has changed in the last 5 years.
Her age, it can't be good.
Half of all millionaires in this country start their businesses after the age of 60. What if that was God's plan for her life?
Oh, brother, what a stretch.
You think it would have been more productive for her to go around with no hope and do what? Lay down and die?
There is no God. And there is no hope.
Well, the end of her story is that she started her own company and it was making millions.
You said it was.
She had to give it up. That's what I prayed with her about.
No hope.
You want something else?
No. I think I'm done. I'm fine.
Hey, before you go, why don't you tell me about you? Why you think there's no God? You never did get to that last night.
You want to hear about me? You said you read the papers.
I also said I don't believe everything I read in the papers. I'd like to get your take on the whole thing and why you think you got it so bad.
Take some pie.
What kind?
Come on.
Sure. Paul, bring him some pecan pie. Well,
I was champ twice. That last fight would have set me up for the rest of my life. I had a big house, lots of friends, great girlfriend, fast car, I had everything. Like I said, I had all that stuff and now I don't. That's pretty much the end of the story.
That's not much of a story, and it sure doesn't show if God had anything to do with it.
Look, I worked hard my whole life to get to where I was. I trained for hours and hours every day. I traveled all over. I lived in dives. I took whatever fight I could, and then I made it. I was champion of the world twice. I was somebody.
Then
God took it all away.
God?
Yeah, God. Isn't he the giver of life, taker of life? Doesn't he control everything?
He gives us free will.
He let Hector die. He let them strip me of my title and everything that I had.
God kept hitting Hector control.
No. I hit him. But God let him die. And if he wouldn't have let that happen, I wouldn't have lost everything.
Everything? You're forgetting about Hector's family.
I already told you about Hector's family. They've got my purse.
I know. They got your money. They got your purse. But you're still alive. You still got hope.
There you go with the hope stuff. I got no hope. I'm just waiting to join Hector, that's all.
Here, take this. Read the first chapter. It's payment for your meal. And come back tomorrow night. And make sure to write down all the things that you're grateful for when you're done reading.
What things?
Let's see. The meal for starters and the pie. And aren't you staying at the church again tonight?
I don't know. Maybe. I thought I'd walk around some.
Well, if you do, when you're lying in your warm bed with a roof over your head, make sure you write that down as something more you're grateful for. See? Your list is growing. And that you're alive.
My friends, they put me somewhere I didn't really want to be. I cried for help into the night. Still alone in the morning light. It seems I'm always on my own. Looking around, I find no home. The world seems so empty to me. So much harder to believe. I look for you to find my way. Where are you? Where are you? I cry for you always in pain. Where are you? God, where are you? The cold, cold silence of this place. I search around looking for grace. I lift my hand and no one's there. Please, God, show me you really care. I look for you to find my way. Where are you? Where are you? I cry for you always in pain. Where are you? God, where are you?
Hey, mister, you all right? Do you need a ride or something?
Is this really the kind of town where some pretty lady can pick up some random stranger?
You're not random. I know exactly who you are.
You know who I am.
Yeah, you're Sonny Boone.
You recognize me like this?
Like what?
Come on, lady.
No, I mean, really, like, what? Do you mean your clothes?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Don't tell me you're the type of guy that think the clothes make the man.
I gotta get some meat.
You going to the diner? Because I can give you a ride across the street. Yeah, come on. I'm Cindy Gray.
I'm Rainbow Boone. People call me Sonny. Probably already know that.
Yeah, well, buckle up.
We're just going across the street.
Yeah, well, the Lord promises tomorrow to no one, you know?
Must be this town.
Sorry, what?
Nothing. So what are you, lady? You a fight fan or you just love those gossip mags?
Neither. My ex-husband, he was a big fan of yours. Yeah, he's been following you ever since you won your first championship.
That was 10 years ago, lady. Lots happened since then.
Yeah, me too.
So what's wrong? You're not allowed in the front door either?
No, I know the night manager.
Malachi?
Yeah. You know him?
Yeah, kind of.
Well, I never came here for the chili, if you know what I mean. I came for the nourishment.
You got me, lady. I don't know what you mean.
Well, Malachi was the only thing that kept me from cashing in about 8 years ago.
What happened 8 years ago?
Well, my world fell apart. I mean, literally. Everything that I had known in the first 30 years of my life was gone.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, okay.
No, I was...
So I was 19 years old, married to what I thought was a wonderful man. The man that God had chosen for me. He was a pastor, and he was just starting out his ministry.
Another God story.
You don't believe in the promises of God?
I can't get my meal until Malachi gets here, so you can go on.
Well, how do you know he's not here? I mean, just because you don't see him?
Yeah, I believe what my eyes tell me. If he was here, his apron would be gone. It wouldn't be over there on that post, so he's not here.
You know, it's a nice night. You can wait out here if you want.
Simply smoothies. 100% real fruit smoothies. No chopping, no blending, no cleaning. Just pouring. The best things in life are made simply.
At Airwick, we craft authentic fragrances to bring the essence of nature into your home. But nature can't thrive without wildflowers. Since 2009, we've lost 33 million acres of grassland and wildflower habitat in the U.S. Great Plains. Airwick Scented Oils is partnering with World Wildlife Fund to reseed 1 billion square feet of native wildflowers and grasslands, making our connection to nature stronger. Learn more at airwick.us.
With the intelligent control of all-wheel drive and the power of a 2.5-liter turbo engine, there's no limit to the places the all-new Sorento can take you and to the stories waiting for you when you get there. The all-new Sorento, the world's first storytelling machine.
What are these?
Coca-Cola flavors, ma'am.
Are you saying it's possible for a Coke to be part cherry and part vanilla?
Yes.
See,
I know. Coke flavors are almost too delicious to be true. Come on.
Quiet your hand, quiet your feet. Be still and know. Be still and
Well, as I was saying, everything was going along great. The church was really growing. I was becoming a very popular pastor. Started to travel a lot. When he traveled, it was up to me to oversee the church. He hired most of the staff, but I was the one that was in charge when he was away. I basically just made sure that the church ran smoothly in his absence.
Sounds great.
Well, we continued to grow. We were able to build a big new sanctuary complex on. I had a gorgeous new house. 2 fabulous cars. Hey, are you okay?
Yeah, I was just thinking you're describing my life to a T.
So you have kids, huh?
Well, no, I mean, all but that. I was engaged and we were about to get married when the... No. Go ahead, I want to hear your story.
As I was saying, we had the idyllic life. You know, it was a fairy tale, really. God was good to us.
If God was so good, what's the point of the story? I know that you're going to start telling me some bad stuff happened any minute. You're going to prove my point.
No, God was good to me when I didn't know it. God was good to me when I didn't think it. And God was good to me when I was mad at him.
So you admit you are mad at God?
No, not are. Was. But that's okay, because I got over it. And when I did, he was right there waiting for me. Well, you don't see Malachi, do you?
No, I'm just...
You know, like I said, we had everything. Had the house, the cars, the jobs, the children. Yeah, I mean, we had it all.
So what happened? You guys maybe killed?
No, it was worse.
Worse than getting killed. What's worse than dying?
He came home one night after one of his mission trips. Big stack of legal papers in his hands. Basically told me he didn't want to be married to me anymore. I had to get out of the house. I had to leave my home that very night. And I didn't see my children for a month, so yeah, it was worse.
I thought the female always gets the breaks in the divorces.
He was a very powerful man by then with very powerful friends. It was as if he had planned the previous 2 years for that very night.
What do you mean?
Everything. And I mean everything was in the name of the church. The house, the cars, the bank accounts. I was literally put out on the streets. Oh, and that salary that I thought I was getting also tied right back up into the church. I was in total despair.
You're not going to tell me that a pretty lady like you ended up on the street.
I came very close to living on the streets. You know, those friends that I thought I had? Well, they were friends that we had. And when there was a no more we, there were no more friends. I basically didn't exist without him. I didn't have my own identity. Every single thing in my life up until that very point revolved around that man. Let me put it to you this way. I know how he liked his eggs fixed because I fixed them. But I didn't know how I liked mine.
Wait a minute. Eggs? I don't get it. What do you mean?
I stumbled into this very diner and found that I was next. I just knew he didn't exist. When Malachi got me, he sat me down. And he asked me how I liked my eggs.
You're telling me that he convinced you that there's a God?
Of course not, he couldn't do that. But what he did do was show me that all those why questions that I wanted answers to couldn't be answered, at least not by God. You know, I had wasted 2 years of my life during the divorce proceedings asking why. So I asked Malachi for help instead. I asked Malachi for the answers. You know what he told me?
No clue.
He said, Cindy, it just takes time. Time. Well, at least now I had someone else to be mad at, in addition to God, because that was not the answer that I wanted to hear. I was so mad at Malachi for that.
Why did you keep coming back?
Because he is the only one who put a roof over my head when I literally had no place else to go.
You didn't stay at the church on the way out?
Yes. That's why I stopped to check on you, make sure you were okay. And you know what? Malachi was right. All it did was just take time. I wasted 2 years of my life asking why. And then one morning the sun came up. I know it had been there all along, but I just didn't see it. But when I did, I saw the light, and there he was.
He? You mean God?
Yes. And I realized he had been with me all along. He had never left my side.
How can you say that? How can you say he's been with you the entire time when he let all that bad stuff happen to you?
Well, the rain falls on the just and the unjust.
Ah, that's a Bible cliche. It still doesn't answer the question, why he let all that stuff happen to me? I mean, you.
God did not let all that stuff happen to me. God did not make me marry that man. God did not make him forsake his wedding vows. And God did not make me stupidly allow every single thing that I own to be put in the church's name. No. That was my own free will, unfortunately.
Will.
And you know what I realized? God was with me during the good times too. You know? And in the early years, there were a lot of good times. God was with me during the birth of my 2 beautiful children. And God has definitely been with me during these past 8 years. I have my kids with me full time. And I have a ton of friends, true friends. And I have the hope of an eternal life that is better than anything I have had or have now. And that, Sonny, that is what is important. I stopped blaming him and I started thanking him. I have an unending list of things to be grateful for. Sonny Boone, I am grateful for you, Sonny Boone. For you have confirmed yet again that God is still at work.
So he sold all his books too, huh?
No, he gave me this one. Well, he gave me the first one. This is the third book I have gotten. So you can see it's almost full. He gave you one too, huh?
Yeah, well.
Yeah, well, trust me on this. Use it. And if you don't have it with you, write it down on a napkin, you'll see. You can fill the pages of that book, but you will never run out of things.
I don't know.
Being grateful for all that I have is the biggest step in getting me away from what I didn't have.
I had a lot. And probably more than you. And now I've got.
And soon you'll see that all those things you think you lost, well, they weren't things that you needed anyway.
Come on. Let's get something to eat. I'm sure Malachi's buying.
I already ate with my family. I'm not going in.
What?
I just wanted to give you a ride. You take care.
Wait a second. How do you like them? I mean, your eggs.
My eggs? Scrambled, of course.
You seem to know everybody's story. What's that guy's story?
Billy? He was a regular for a while. Hasn't been in much lately. I think he's been too busy.
Does he think?
You worry about that a lot.
Money? Yeah. That's what makes the world go round. Hey, listen, wait a second. You get paid here? Okay. But wait. But my point is, you're doing this for the money, right? He's doing this for the money.
Well, when I both get what we need, we have enough. Enough is all anyone needs.
But my point is, you're both here working for the money. And that's what was taken from you. Don't you get that?
Was it? Do you think this is all there is? Do you think here, where you are now, is the end of your story?
I can't see a way out. I can't go anywhere. I can get a job. I'm cursed.
But you didn't answer. Is this the end of your story? Let me put it another way. Do you think you've been going through something these last 6 months? Or is this where you're going to be for the rest of your days here on earth?
I know I'm going through something. It doesn't mean it's going to get me better.
But they are going to change by the mere fact that you're going through.
Yes.
Through. It's a pretty powerful word. Now, I know you don't think he's real, but hear me out. How many times does God say that he will leave you in a place?
I don't know. Then I don't care.
No. God never says he'll leave you in a situation. So, how many times does God say that he will see you through a situation?
Same answer. I don't know. I don't care.
Always. God always promises to see you through a situation. Never leave you.
Sure that.
When you were a kid, did you ever see a crack in the concrete and see ants building an anthill?
What?
An anthill coming up through the concrete.
Yeah.
Then you walk by and you swipe it away with your foot.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody's done that.
So looking at it from an ant's view, you could probably compare that to a tornado or a hurricane, what we call a disaster. Hundreds of dead for no reason.
Okay, what's that got to do with it?
I'm getting there. Then you come back later on that day, and lo and behold, there's another anthill in the same place.
They're ants. That's what they do.
So you admit, just because all of their hard work gets kicked aside, the ants, one of the smallest creatures God ever made, don't just quit.
Like I said, it's what they do.
And you?
You what?
You're allowed to just quit. What makes you think this is the end of the Sonny Boom story?
Don't you have some other customers to bother somewhere?
I guess you're right. Excuse me.
Iris, what's happening?
They're here.
You're part of the family after all.
You're better than I thought.
Our future begins. Products range from product not yet rated to mature.
I have the power to lower my A1C.
Because I can still make my own insulin. And Trulicity activates my body to release it.
Once weekly Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. Most people taking it reached an A1C under 7%. Trulicity may also help you lose up to 10 pounds and lower your risk of cardiovascular events, whether you know you're at risk or not. Trulicity isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. It's not approved for use in children. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, which can lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems.
I have it within me to lower my A1C.
Ask your doctor about once weekly Trulicity.
Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get the show on, yeah.
Get 5 bonus wings for $1 with any handcrafted burger, only at Applebee's.
Guys, Microsoft Surface Pro 7 MacBook Pro. Surface comes with a pen and touch. I gave you this little bar, but just give me a whole touch screen. Surface Pro has a retractable keyboard. When is the press?
Would you mind talking to Billy for a minute? I think you could help. Me? Sure. Just listen. That's all some people need. Someone to listen. Billy? This is Remo. Remo, this is Billy.
Hey, glad to meet you. Hey, sit down, can you? So, Remo, what do you do?
Kind of unemployed at the moment.
Sounds like me. Well, except for the blind part. You're not blind, are you?
No, I'm fine. I mean,
no, I know what you mean. I'm fine too. You know, I used to not be. Well, fine that is. If it wasn't for the grace of God, I'd still be in a mess. Well, hey, you don't have time for that, huh? Have you heard of me? Like, read about me in the papers or on the internet?
No, I haven't. Should I have?
Up until 5 years ago, I had my future all lined out. So I was going to be a big star in the NFL. I was going to be the number 1 pick in the pro football draft. I was on track to win the Heisman that year. I only had every NFL team fighting over me.
Seriously?
Sorry, I wasn't blind then, if that's what you're thinking.
Oh.
That would be a pretty good trick, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But what really happened?
Oh, it had nothing to do with football, if that's what you're asking. See, I played football since I was 8, and the worst thing that ever happened was just a sprained ankle and pop line.
Pretty lucky, I guess.
What? No. See, I was blessed with a gift. We all have gifts.
So,
It was stupid. I was out with the guys one night after practice, and we got in a car wreck. Yeah. Drunk driver. He topped the hill and hit his head on. The guy ended up walking away from the crash, but two of my buddies were killed, and I was the lucky one. You know, God spared me. Mr. Boone, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I can't see how you can call yourself lucky.
I'm still here.
I'm confused. I don't understand how you can give God credit at all. I mean, if he's so high and mighty and powerful, why would he let your two friends die and you go, why? Yeah. It's really hard for me to believe this all-powerful, loving being you guys call God. Let all that happen, and then on top of it, let the guy who caused it walk away scot-free.
Like I said, I'm still here. Look, it showed me that God wasn't through with me yet.
I don't mean to be insensitive, but that's just not God. And it's no blessing to be blind. You can't be all that powerful. I mean,
well, wait. Look, God didn't make that driver get drunk. That was his own free will. But the truth is, we can't know all the reasons why God lets bad things happen. I mean, if he does, it's just the sinful world we live in. But God didn't plan to have sin in this world. Man chose it. And it's also very arrogant of us to reduce God to the thoughts of a man. And we do that when we ask him why.
You didn't do anything wrong.
Me personally, probably not. But I do live in this world. I'm bound by that. See, look, it's like my team, right? I mean, I could be the best player to ever wear a uniform. But if those other guys on the field are the worst, then I'd be bound by that. But nothing I do on my own can change that. Besides, nowhere does God promise us that we'll have a trouble-free life. In fact, in a number of instances, he tells us we'll suffer hardships. Like, it's just us that think those hardships belong to others.
It's still not fair. I'm sorry for hurting your feelings, but I can't see where God has been in any of this, good or bad.
Oh, it's good. For sure. Look, he promises us that. I mean, you wouldn't want to live in a world where you had no choice, right?
Of course not.
Look, so when God gave us the ability to choose, those choices have consequences, both good and bad. Sometimes the results of those choices cause collateral damage.
Collateral damage?
Yeah. I didn't choose for that driver to get drunk that night. Yeah, I did choose to go out with my buddies. I could have stayed home, but I didn't. My friends could have stayed home, but they didn't. So those are all choices, all the consequences, and some collateral damage.
But the cause of it, I mean, the drunk guy, he had no consequence. There's no collateral damage. He walks away.
No damage. He's still in prison. I mean, he had a successful law practice and a nice family. I mean, he lost all that. I mean, I still get phone calls from him almost every week telling me how sorry he is for what happened. Even when he's out of that prison, he still won't be free. Because he put himself in a lifelong prison. See? Yeah, not to belabor the point. You gotta say something to make me think I'd bored you to death right there in that chair.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I was writing something down, but forgot.
What's it? It's in your book? Hey, Remo.
Sorry, yes. To put in the book. I'm sure Malachi's getting a cut of all these books he's passing on.
I'm sure he does. Hey, I gotta go. It was very nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you too. me help? I don't know. Or maybe he gave me some things to think about, but I seriously doubt I helped him.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
I don't understand why he's so darn happy. I mean, his situation's almost identical to mine.
You're going blind?
You know what I mean. He was on top of his game and he lost everything. I was on top and I lost everything. I just don't see what good God has been in all that.
Did you really know who you were?
You mean that I was champ and all that bad stuff happened?
Yeah.
No, maybe you see.
So I guess that stuff must not define who you are any more than his blindness defines who he is.
What does he do now? I mean, what's he got to look forward to?
You mean besides a bunch more Grammys and Academy Awards?
No, that guy? No, he said he was unemployed.
Well, yes, at the moment. He's in between gigs, but things change. That's what he's been doing since the accident. While he was recovering in the hospital, he began to hear music and started writing it down. His first time out, he wrote the soundtrack for The Long Ride and won a Grammy. He's the hottest composer around.
Okay.
Maybe you ought to read more than the sports page and watch more than ESPN.
What's that?
Some shirts and pants. For you.
I can't.
I guess that's your size. It'd be easier if you carry that book with you.
You know, I can't pay you for these, so I was thinking I could do some work on a little planner.
No, we're handling it.
But you see, if I could just
What chapter are you on in that book?
Chapter 2.
Read chapter 3 about self-forgiveness. That'll be paying off.
Okay. Yes. Can I come back tomorrow?
Sure. I'm always here. Say, would you mind making sure that back door shuts tight? It's been sticking lately.
Yeah.
Oh, what's going on with you?
You're not going in there, are you?
Yeah, I still do.
Lucky you.
Oh, wait, what's going on, man?
That guy up there, he's a jerk. He's plain mean.
Pastor Gary?
Yeah.
No, man, you're mistaken.
I was just trying to get out of the night era, okay? I wasn't bothering anything or anybody.
Come on, just come sit down. Come sit down with me. You're cold. Come on, sit down.
Starting today, nobody has to settle for less than the very best, because only Verizon gives you 5G from America's most reliable network at no extra cost, and plans to mix and match so you only pay for what you need.
The plan is so reasonable, they can stay on for the rest of the
And on top of that, nobody gives you more entertainment you love, like Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus on select unlimited plans, and Discovery Plus on us. You even get one of our best 5G phones on us when you buy one, and it all starts at just $35, only from Verizon.
When preparing a proper meal, always set your fork at 9 o'clock. Sit up straight. You never slouch. No elbows on the table. Always pass the serving dishes to the right. Proper attire is a must. Always present guests with a timely dinner invitation. And never, ever, ever be late to the dinner table.
We stand in defiance. We the makers, we the groundbreakers. We defy what logic says we should look like, sound like, be like. Because to create the future, we must defy the logic of the past. We must defy logic.
It's cold out. A little. No, it's alright, man. I'm good. Seriously, dude. Shut up. Thanks. So, I was just around back, minding my own business, trying to get some sleep. I mean, you couldn't even see me from the street. That pastor guy, what was his name? Gary. He comes out, he shakes me awake, says, "Hey, why don't you move aside?"
Move aside?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Move inside?
Could have been, maybe. Yeah, but he didn't have to bother me in the first place.
He was offering you a place to sleep. It's kind of what he does.
He's just like all this other God stuff. None of it's real.
Brother, you're preaching to the choir, but I gotta tell you, Pastor Gary is different, man. He's a pretty stand-up guy. He lets me stay in his spare room. He doesn't really talk to me. Kind of says hi, no preaching. I'm kind of grateful to know him.
Sonny?
Hey, Pastor.
You all right with your friend here?
Do you mind if... What's your name?
Here. Oh, Pietro Pescatore. But you can call me Peter.
Do you mind if Peter bunks inside tonight?
Of course not.
Okay, fine. Maybe it was inside.
Why are you sleeping in the doorway anyway? Why are you here? And what did you do before tonight?
Well, I was a cop. 7 years on the force. They decided to let me go undercover. Try to bust this drug gang. So in order to do that, I have to get in. I have to become one of them, right? Which I do. I end up getting punished for it.
What are you punished?
All of those guys were users as well as dealers, right? So how do you think it would have played out if I didn't use? Night of a big score, everything goes south. That night, I find out that one of our guys in the department is their inside guy. He finds out about me at the same time. So he shows up at the drop, ready to bust me. Everything goes crazy. He ends up getting killed in the crossfire.
I hate to say it, but bad cop dead. Your problem solved, right?
Nah, it starts him. See, nobody in the department knew that cop was dirty. So I end up getting charged with the rest of those lowlifes.
But you're out. You're out here. You're not in prison.
Yeah, I beat the murder charge. Finally. I even kicked the habit. But it ended up costing me everything. All those years on the job, gone. Like they never happened. All of my friends, both inside and out of the department, disappeared. The little money I had went to the lawyers, so I just ended up lost. Abandoned.
You're still here. You're alive. You didn't fall in a heap and feel sorry for yourself. You picked yourself up. You did something about it. You did what you had to do. The bad guys are in jail and, bad cop's dead. I mean, at least you got all that.
Sounds real good. Too bad you didn't take your own advice, though, right?
Excuse me?
You are Sonny Boone, right? Used to be.
So, what are you doing here?
You know me, you know my story, you know what happened.
I know you got a bad rap. Come on, that bum didn't have to stick his chin out. What were you supposed to do, huh?
His name was Hector. Hector Controller. He was kicking the crap out of me.
Sorry. Didn't mean to offend. Still, they didn't have to take away your title.
No argument there, buddy. I'm here now. And I gotta make the best of it.
So what, you think God is the answer? I mean, he's the one that caused all of this, right? And what, you just got to deal with it?
No, I gotta live through it. Through it. Besides, I don't know if he caused this. Pretty sure I did.
You're kidding me, right? I mean, come on, you were just doing your job. You were just doing what you were trained to do, what you were made to do, just like me.
I know this is not what you want to hear. And maybe the fault of the world we live in. I want you to think about this. If God is real, he's not liking some of the stuff we're doing down here.
Like what?
Do you remember when we used to say the Lord's Prayer in school? And then somewhere along the line, someone got offended, so he stopped.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
We've taken God out of our schools, out of our homes, out of our government. We're so darn politically correct that we're so worried about not offending anybody. But I can't help but think that we're offending God. I mean, we don't think a thing about it if we're offending God. I can see why he's not giving us his blessing, protection, and all that. And all we're doing is asking him to leave us alone.
Sounds to me like you do think he's real.
Let's put it this way. I think about how I used to dislike my trainer so much back in the day, but he was always there looking out for me.
How do you mean?
I mean, he would ride me, he would push me, he would make me hit the heavy bag for hours on end, and when everyone else had gone home, make me run mile after mile after mile until I was dead tired.
Yeah, but he was just like testing you, right? He was just preparing you.
Yeah, I know that now. But when I was aching from head to toe, no, man, I hate it. But he somehow knew that I was going to be champion. Now, if he would have told me that and then asked me to do all that stuff, I'd have loved him for it. And probably done twice as much. Yeah. If he somehow would have let me know where I'd end up, I'd have thought different of him. Hey man, I was beginning to think you were off tonight.
Oh, I never take a day off.
At first, I thought maybe you were already inside. I didn't see your apron out back, so I went ahead and came on in.
Nice shirt.
Oh. Thanks.
So how's it going?
You know, about the same. I'm still homeless. No friends. In hiding. You know, basically ruined. No. I can pay tonight. That's what you're saying.
Now, how'd that happen?
Like you don't know. Didn't you and Pastor Gary get together and work this whole thing out?
I'm not sure I know what you mean. I mean, I talked to Pastor Gary, but not about you. At least not today.
Really? Well, I found this under my door this evening. $11. Give me a bill tonight.
Did you put that in your book?
Oh, I did. I did. Right here. The chapter after giving, right there.
So you were wrong.
About what?
What you said about how things were. Let's see. You were homeless. I see here you put that you were grateful for a place to live. So that's out. No friends. 1. 2. 3. Almost every page has a new friend that you're grateful for. In hiding. You realize how visible you are sitting here? You could be all the way down the block and see inside this dine at night. And what was the last thing? Oh, yes. You said that you were ruined.
Find a place in that book where it says I'm not ruined. I dare you.
You haven't read the last chapter yet.
Okay, well then how is that gonna make me unruined?
Well, the story in any book isn't done till the last chapter's read. And God isn't done with you either.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, you can stop protesting. You got many things written in that book in your own handwriting that proves God's existence. Your admission that sin exists proves the reality of a God who overcomes even the bad things.
I appreciate that. I do. I can't see how he or anyone else can make any of this useful. Hey, I'm paying tonight. I would like. What are you laughing at? Would you like? You want me to cook my own food?
No, then Paul be out of a job. But just what was wrong with that stuff?
For starters, none of it was cooked.
It wasn't done?
No, not even the coffee. It wasn't done.
So what you're saying is what Paul brought you will be something good when he's done with it.
Or something else, you know that.
That's what I do.
Apparently so. All right. If I say there's a God, are you telling me something miraculous is going to happen?
No, I can't know that.
Then how are we going to make me done?
That's pretty much up to you. But look at the past few days. Just think about all the things that have happened that you've acknowledged that you're grateful for. God has been with you the whole time. You've simply been running from it. You're just now slowing down enough to see that.
There's going to have to be some mighty miracles to get me back to where I was.
Can you find that promise in there anywhere?
Well, you just said that.
I said God wasn't done with you. Everything that has happened to you was to get you where you're supposed to be.
Man, you got the quietest customers on earth.
Great. She's here. I'd like for you to talk with her for a few minutes.
I'm paying for my meal tonight, so I'd actually like it to be hot.
Oh, we'll bring it in a minute. And this won't take long.
Tactic.
it's a pretty scarce resource. They are a cohort that should be nurtured, making sure that you've got women and people of color so that everybody can see that there's a path for them to the corner office.
If you are not creating a prototype of the type of leader that you want, you're going to have some serious challenges. People want to work for a company that cares, period.
Chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. Introducing Zaxby's new signature sandwich with a double hand-breaded filet, split top bun, and Zax sauce, our new spicy Zax sauce. Only at Zaxby's.
Days, everyone's staring at screens and watching their spending. Good vision is more important than ever, but so is saving. That's why America's Best includes a free eye exam when you buy 2 pairs of glasses for just $69.95. Book an exam online today.
Everybody wants the same thing. That's why I go with Liberty Mutual. I customize my car insurance so I only pay for what I need. Because I do things a little different. Okay, I'll take a look at this.
This is on a hot dog stand?
No. Can't you see the sign? Wet teddy bears. Get your wet teddy bears 100% wet guaranteed, or the next one's on me.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Buenas noches.
Malachi wanted me to speak with you.
Ah, Malachi. Sí, él es un buen hombre. Pero, lo siento, yo no hablo inglés.
She said she doesn't speak English.
Well, Malachi wanted me to visit with her. Now, how am I supposed to do that?
I speak Spanish.
Of course you do. Tell her that Malachi wanted me to speak with her.
Señora, Malachi pidió si puedes hablar con el señor Boone.
Sí, por supuesto. Por favor, siéntese.
She says grab a seat.
Noted. I'm Remo Boone.
Señora, se llama el señor Remo Boone.
Puedes llamarme señora María. Yo sé quién eres. Yo a usted lo conozco.
Call her Miss Maria. She also said she knows who you are.
Just kind of enjoying my anonymity there for a minute. You don't have to translate that. Just tell her it's nice to meet her.
Es un placer conocerte.
And ask her how I can help her.
El señor quiere saber cómo te puede ayudar.
¿Sabe quién soy?
She wants to know if you know who she is.
No, I'm afraid I don't.
No sabe quién eres.
Could you just find out what she wants from me?
Quiere saber qué quieres de él.
Yo quiero que él venga a conocer a mi familia y también para mostrarle algo.
She said she'd like you to meet her family. She said she has something to show you.
Why would I do that? Why would I do that?
You must. Es muy importante.
She says it's very important.
Yeah, it's very important. Yeah, I got that. What's this?
It's her family's address.
Por favor, ven mañana por la mañana.
She says come tomorrow in the morning.
I don't know. This is in Orlando. This is way to. This is in Orlando.
You must.
Control. Is this
You must. Por favor.
date? I mean, 8.
Sí, sí, está bien. Bueno, sí, a las 8.
Here we are, 34th North 9th. Some will build and push shell. That'll be $10. Build them up with $10. Laughter. Some build them strong with their doubts and their feet. But imagine everyone hide the truth within a song.
Hi, this lady, Miss, she asked
We
if
have
I...
been praying that you would come. Please come in. Mr. I am Sophia Conchola, Hector's wife, and this is our son, Gregory.
Conchola. Gregory, I'm so sorry about what happened.
Gregory, would you get us some lemonade?
Thinking about what happened every night for the last 6 months. Can you ever forgive me?
All of us, including Hector, are Christians. We know that all things work together for our good, and that God is in control. He is even in control of this situation.
Just so sorry. I have wished that I could trade places with Hector. Every day since it happened.
Mr. Boone.
Just call me Sonny, please.
Sure, of course. Sonny, God's plans are much bigger and better than we could ever know. You take the first step on the staircase, not knowing, but believing it will lead to the top. We are taking the steps God has ordered to get to the top.
Wait, can you forgive me?
Sonny, we forgave you long, long ago. We know this was all God's plan for the good of our family.
For good?
Yes, because we are Christians, we know that doesn't mean we won't go through hard times. It does mean that Jesus will be there to help us through, and He has been. We have so much to be grateful for.
Just grateful.
Have you forgiven yourself? No one can truly change until he has stopped thinking about yesterday and starts thinking about tomorrow. If we are anchored in yesterday, we will miss moving on. We've moved on.
What? That's the last chapter of the book.
The book?
My friend gave me a book, and it's lined out pretty much everything that's happened to me, but it still doesn't answer why it happened. And God hasn't given me that answer either.
It is because God is concerned with our eternity. To God, it is everything. God simply does not answer why. Humans are the only species that even ask that question. When the beaver's dam collapses, he doesn't just sit by the banks of the stream and ask why. He simply starts to rebuild. We should do the same.
Why don't you miss him?
Oh, I do. I miss Hector every day. But I am happy he is not suffering. I am happy that I will meet him again one day in the eternity promised by God.
He's suffering.
No one knew about Hector. About a week before the fight, while he was training, he started to feel tired.
We all get that way, but, usually it's just the adrenaline will carry us through.
This was something more. He went to our family doctor to see about getting some sort of prescription, something to get him through the fight.
Mama, tell him everything.
I will, son.
Yeah.
During the routine exam with our family doctor, he discovered some disturbing news in the blood test.
Kind of disturbing.
The doctor found that Hector had abnormal levels of white blood cells.
Sorry.
It meant that he had leukemia. Both his mother and father died of leukemia. So we were very certain. Leukemia is very hereditary. Mr. Boone?
I still don't understand. Why did he go ahead with the fight? Why didn't he get treatment?
He prayed about it very much. He knew if word got out that he had the disease, the fight would have been canceled. And with his family history, he wanted his own family, us, to have a better life.
So you're not well off financially, or you weren't?
The payday he was going to get from that fight with you could have set us up for life. It would be enough to take care of his family, even if he couldn't.
Well, I get that, I guess. I know the commission probably would have, stopped the fight if they would have known, but that doesn't excuse for what I did.
You didn't know Hector very well. He was really an unselfish person. Being a fighter was his job. It wasn't who he was. The only thing I can come up with is that he knew treatment of the disease would take all of the money he would get from that fight. He wouldn't be able to fight anymore and would make no more money. He was still pretty certain of the eventual outcome of his condition.
Because both of his parents died, so
Yes.
So you're saying he sacrificed himself? How could he know?
There was just something in that arena that night that put him at peace.
I'm sorry. I had no idea.
Mama, let's show me.
I'm sorry.
Yes, the rest. Please, come with us. There's something we want to show you.
Together. We're a team.
Our future begins. Between RP to M.
And a little bit of chicken fried. Cold beer on Friday night. A pair of jeans that fit just right. And the radio.
Get 5 boneless wings for $1 with any handcrafted burger. Only at Applebee's. Because we've been this way from the start. Because the solution for one can be harnessed by others. Because clouds that compete can still connect. Because innovation needs collaboration. Because a revolutionary approach to software can transcend enterprise IT. Red Hat, our code is open.
We started with computers. We didn't stop at computers. We didn't stop at storage or cloud. We kept going, working with our customers to enable a kind of technology that can guide an astronaut back to safety and help make a hospital come to you instead of you going to it. So when it comes to your business, you know we'll stop at nothing.
You begins. Life starts.
Your eyes closed.
This room.
Oh, good. They're putting up the signs.
Well, how am I supposed to find it? I don't.
You may also wonder
Okay, you can look now.
where you go.
Hector started remodeling this gym before the fight, and he was going to use some of the money to complete the work. You know we got some extra money from the fight. We used it to finish this. It will honor his memory.
I'm glad you got this money.
And it would be so good if you would run it for us. And train me. Don't forget that, Mama. And train Gregory. What do you say?
Yeah, of course.
Pablo and Abuelita Maria would be so happy. We will hold a press conference and tell the world
we have forgiven you, and that you're going to help your family here.
Mama, don't forget the upstairs. We built a nice apartment on the second floor.
And you could stay there as part of your job. How's that?
Muy bueno.
See you later. All right.
Bye, everybody.
See you.
Can I help you there, son?
You're closed? Oh, you're closed to like dinner?
No, we don't do dinner, breakfast and lunch. Every day, we close at 2.
Okay, but I need to speak to Malik. Something to wonder who? Malik, your night man.
Son, I'm Mr. Brown, Joe Brown. And I've owned this diner since it opened. Never been open nights, so don't need a night manager.
No, wait, I need to speak to Malachi. I eat here at night.
Oh, at night. You're probably thinking of the city diner. It's downtown, a couple blocks. I mean, when you go down.
No,
city.
Paul, your cook.
Son, I do most of the cooking. Me and Josh here. There's no Paul here. Think you got your wires crossed someplace. Have a blessed day. Yeah, we're open now.
Eternally grateful, thankful, because you were so thoughtful. I was so prideful, stressful, thought I was so skillful, but now I am hopeful.
Now I can say, Lord God.
Yes, Pastor. And I know I do.
You look different. I feel different. I hope you enjoy your new job.
Oh my goodness, I almost forgot. I didn't write down my new job yet.
Yes, it sure is something to be grateful for in this game.
Yes, sir. And I am. And I'm doing something I was born to do.
You are a blessed man, son.
I'm a grateful man, Pastor. Thank you for everything.
Eternally grateful, thankful, because you were so thoughtful, and I was so prideful, stressful, thought I was so skillful, but now I am hopeful, joyful, you have made me wishful, I have been transformed, all because of you.
Hey there. Need another ride?
Just in time. What a coincidence.
There are no coincidences.
Yeah, I kind of figured that one out.
Where are you headed?
Orlando.
Yeah?
I got a job. It was waiting for me.
Well, miracles never cease, huh?
Encouragement, so all can hear me say, eternally thankful, 'cause you were so